They raised their voice. You lowered your peace. You felt it rising, that heat in the chest, that urge to strike back, to say something sharp, to win. But pause for a moment. Ask yourself, who really wins? When the mind is lost? Most people think conflict is a test of force. The louder you speak, the stronger you seem. The faster you react, the more dominant you look. The more emotional, the more real. But that's not strength. That's surrender. Surrender to impulse. Surrender to ego. Surrender to a moment that will pass, but leaves damage behind. Stoicism teaches something different. It doesn't tell you to avoid conflict. It teaches you how to enter it, without becoming it. You don't lose yourself. You don't become them. You hold the line. Inside. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, plague. He had power to destroy, but his words still whisper. If someone does wrong, the harm is theirs, not yours. Conflict doesn't have to be chaos. It can be training. Training in clarity. Training in restraint. Training in power without noise. Because when others yell and you stay still, you show them what real control looks like. This isn't about backing down. It's about standing taller. Inside. So let's begin. Why does conflict cut so deep? Why does one sentence, one look, one careless word stay with us for days? Because we don't just hear the words. We attach to them. We take them as a verdict, a threat, a wound. Someone says something sharp. We don't just think, that was rude. We think, that hurt me. They disrespected me. They made me feel small. But here's the truth. They didn't create your pain. They only triggered it. What hurts was already there. Epictetus said, it's not things that upset us, but our judgments about things. We are not wounded by the world. We are wounded by the way we interpret it. A harsh word means nothing until we let it mean something. When you believe the insult, it stings. When you resist it, it burns. When you reflect on it, it loses power. The Stoics didn't become cold. They became clear. Clear about what belongs to them and what doesn't. Someone else's anger doesn't belong to you. Their tone, their triggers, their pain, their past. None of it is yours. So the question is not, how could they say that to me? The real question is, why did I let it take root? There is a gap between what happens and what it becomes in your mind. That gap is your power. That pause is your freedom. And in that pause, you can choose to react or to reflect, to be a flame or be the stone that contains it. When you feel offended, you've already agreed to play their game. But when you stay still, you stay free. So next time conflict comes, don't ask, why are they doing this to me? Ask, what part of me still needs peace? The Stoic approach to conflict. Most people see conflict as something to win. The louder voice wins. The sharper words win. The one who gets the last word wins. The Stoic doesn't see it that way. To the Stoic, conflict is not something to win. It's something to face, to endure, to rise above. Because what's the point of winning if you lose your mind to get there? The Stoic approach begins with one rule. Control what is yours. Release what is not. You don't control their tone, their opinion, their ego. You don't control their upbringing, their fears, their inner noise. You only control this. Your reasoned choice. Your clarity. Your response. Epictetus said, there are things that are up to us and things that are not. Reacting in anger, not up to you. That's giving control away. Choosing stillness? That's yours. No one can take that unless you hand it over. Next, don't argue with reality. They said it. They did it. You can resist the fact, or you can face it. The Stoics never wasted time wishing something hadn't happened. It did happen. Now what? Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So, in conflict, they speak harshly. They raise their voice. They try to provoke. You observe. You breathe. You stay with what's in your control. That's not passivity. That's power without panic. Then comes the most important rule. Respond, don't react. Reaction is quick, automatic, emotion-driven. It serves the ego, not the outcome. Response is different. Response comes from a still place, from presence, from choice. The world teaches you to fire back, to defend, to prove. But the Stoic teaches you to hold, to stay steady, to act not from pride, but from purpose. Seneca said, "A quarrel is quickly settled when deserted by one party. The trouble is, we all want to be the last to speak. But silence can be louder than words. Stillness can disarm more than attack. And walking away, not in fear, but in command, is often the boldest move. To be stoic in conflict is not to be silent. It is to be deliberate. It is to know why you speak, and why you don't. It is to choose peace, not because you're weak, but because you've seen what chaos costs. It is to say, I won't let this moment steal my clarity, because the real battle is not with them. It's with your own impulses, your need to be right, to be seen, to be heard. But when you no longer need to win, you often do, quietly, entirely, without leaving ashes behind. This is the Stoic way. Stand in conflict, but don't sink into it. Don't shout above it. Don't retreat from it. Just stay rooted in what's yours to control. That's not losing. That's mastery. 4. Stoic tactics you can apply immediately. Philosophy is useless unless it becomes practice. The Stoics knew this. That's why they trained, not in temples, but in life, in meetings, in insults, in silence. Here are 4 Stoic tactics you can use today, not in theory, but in conflict. Tactic 1, the 3-second pause. Someone says something sharp. Your body tenses. Your heart races. Your mind prepares its weapon. Don't speak yet. Pause. Just 3 seconds. 3 seconds to return to yourself. 3 seconds to choose response over reaction. This isn't weakness. It's self-command. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke." In that pause, you reclaim your power. You no longer move out of emotion. You move from principle. Next time conflict rises, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this worthy of me? Tactic 2, label, don't absorb. Words only hurt when you absorb them as truth. Someone calls you a name, criticizes you, belittles you. Instead of thinking, they've offended me, try this. An offensive statement was made. That's it. Label it. Don't wear it. You are not the words they throw. You are the awareness that observes them. Epictetus said, "Remember that it is not he who gives abuse or blows who insults, but the view that we take of these things as insulting." The Stoic creates a gap between stimulus and self. They don't say, "I am angry." They say, "Anger is present. This language matters." It keeps the emotion outside. It stops it from taking root inside. You're not denying the moment. You're defining your relationship to it. That's strength. Tactic 3. Right before you speak. Some conflicts require a response, but not right now. You feel attacked, misunderstood, tempted to fire back with precision. Don't. Open a page. Write your response. Say everything you want, but silently, in ink. Then walk away. Return hours later. Read what you wrote and ask, would I still say this now? You'll be surprised. Writing clears the fog. It filters heat from clarity. It exposes ego hiding as truth. Seneca wrote letters instead of arguments. He trained his reason before opening his mouth. Do the same. Let words mature before they're spoken. What's said in impulse can rarely be unsaid, but what's said in calm often needs no defense. Tactic 4. Voluntary discomfort. You want to get better at handling conflict? Don't wait for it to show up. Train when no one's watching. In peace, prepare for fire. The Stoics practiced hardship on purpose. Cold baths, simple meals, wearing plain clothes in public, being laughed at without reacting. Why? Because they knew, if you can't control yourself in small trials, you won't in big ones. So, practice. Let someone cut you off in traffic, and don't react. Let someone post a rude comment, and don't reply. Let a small discomfort pass, and don't reach for comfort. Every time you do this, you're training the muscle of restraint, of patience, of true strength. You're saying, I don't need the world to be soft, to be steady. That's Stoicism in motion. These 4 tactics, they aren't tricks. They're training. They build a kind of strength that doesn't show up in arguments, but in your ability to avoid them. They won't make you loud. They'll make you unshakable. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals in conflict. You fall to the level of your habits. So make stillness your habit. Make discipline your instinct. Make self-possession your default. Because when conflict arrives, you don't have time to decide who you are. You act from who you've trained to be. Train now. Quietly. Deliberately. Without applause. That's the Stoic way. Philosophy only matters if it meets you where you live. Let's bring it down. From books to breath. From theory to the hallway outside your office. To the kitchen after an argument. To the glow of a phone screen at midnight. At work, you present an idea. Someone interrupts. They dismiss it. Worse, they take credit. You feel it rise. Anger, ego, the need to correct. Pause. You remind yourself, this moment does not define me. You don't lash out. You ask a calm question. You stay composed while others escalate. People notice, not just your words, but your steadiness. That's influence without force. At home, someone you love says something sharp. They're stressed, tired, short-tempered. You could match their tone. You could prove your point. Or you could hold still. You could breathe. You could say, let's talk when we're both calm. Later when the storm passes. You speak clearly, without blame. Not to win, but to understand. And the relationship grows stronger, because you didn't fight to be right. You chose to stay rooted. Online, someone comments with mockery, insults your view, baits you to react. Don't. Close the tab. Put the phone down. Look out the window instead. Their chaos does not need to become yours. Remember, you are not obligated to attend every argument you're invited to. Stoicism is not about silence. It's about strength. a quiet strength that protects your peace, like it matters. Because it does. The Stoics didn't just teach calm. They trained for it. Not to become untouchable, but to become unshakable. Conflict is part of life, but being disturbed by it is optional. Each moment is a chance to react or to rise, to follow impulse or to practice virtue. And when you choose well, not once, but again and again, you change. Not by accident, by habit, not by force, by stillness. Stillness is not escape. It is not apathy. It is not weakness. Stillness is discipline. It is the quiet refusal to let the world shake you. Anyone can raise their voice. Anyone can fire back. That's easy. That's default. But to pause, to breathe, to see clearly when provoked, that is rare. That is power. The Stoics never promised a life without conflict. They promised the ability to stand through it, unshaken, not because you're numb, but because you're rooted in clarity, in principle, in the strength that doesn't shout, because it doesn't need to. You can't always change the situation. You can't silence the chaos around you, but you can stay still within it, still enough to see your part, still enough to choose your path, still enough to act with purpose, not just motion. Marcus Aurelius faced armies, faced loss, faced betrayal, and yet he wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That's the place you train. That's the place you return to. In every conflict, in every challenge, in every rising storm. Not to hide, but to lead from within. Because when you can stay still, when everything begs you to react, you are no longer ruled by the world. You are ruled by reason, by virtue, by choice. And in that quiet mastery, you win, without noise, without damage, without regret,